We are grateful to our veterans as well as all veterans who have worn the uniform of our nations. It is appropriate that we all reflect on our good fortune to be living in this time and in this great nation. Many of our veterans have witnessed firsthand the struggles that afflict those throughout the world. Good morning. On behalf of Gordon Thayer, LCO Tribal Chairman, and our entire Tribal Governing Board, I would like to welcome you to the dedication of our new LCO Veterans Monument and Veterans Day observance. I'm Suzanne Mills Wem, U.S. Army or U.S. Navy veteran and AMVETS Post Commander of 1998, your mistress of ceremonies for today's program. At this time, I would like to turn the mic over to Mr. Eddie Benton Benet. He will be doing our invocation today.
In this language that pretty much dominates our life today, I want to say good morning, to everybody, relatives, friends, visitors. Despite the water and the mud, it's a beautiful day. And I want to share with you some thoughts before I ask the Creator to look down upon us in His good way. Those of you who have not seen me dressed this way before, this field jacket is from not from the First World War. Not from the First World War. But I'm proud too that I had the chance to serve in the United States Army for a short period of time. Likewise, my brother Johnny Cake. Likewise, all of our relatives, our uncles, our dads, our grandfathers. The Benton heart service to the country goes all the way back to the First World War and beyond that. Many of us are related to people who followed Tecumseh from here all the way to Ontario to help fight in the War of 1812. Especially the people of Signer. Many of those warriors followed Tecumseh back because Tecumseh came here. He came here to get the sanction of the Medean Lodge. And we still keep 4 of his songs, the Ogichita songs, the warrior songs that are dedicated to his memory. So before I start, I'd like to ask you to, at this time, to remember somebody who's no longer with us. And I want to read these words in English, and then I will pronounce them in our sacred language as well. Dedicated to the Ojibwe men and women who served in the armed forces of the United States, past and present, during war and peace, and to those who fought and continue to fight for the inherent rights, the treaty rights, the inherent sacred rights of our people. Their love of family, our land, our people is a source of their devotion and sacrifice. This will never be forgotten. Miigwech, Shimaganishag, Ogichita, and Ogichita Kwe. Yodash Nungumi Oishiganaam Damang. Ojibwe Kwe Mina Ojibwe Unine. Kayoinawa Gajib, United States, Ishinikade. Wadesh Kwayang Minoa Nungum. When I know I'm eating, Minoagan the quadding. Minoga, we know I got Shimiga to what, Minoga, we know I have a Shimiga to what on Jida. On Jida Gaigino and Gashimini Gunum, Gino and the Shinabe William. They get to Zaga 2 now. When we know I shown Jabawat, get a keeping on. Gino and the Shinabe, when they get Gino and the Shimigi. Their devotion and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Gawin we kage kaya wanenim go see. Agashay Manido, Creator Spirit, we come before you this great day to remember those who are no longer with us, to remember those who fought for our land, for our right to live, for our right to live as the original people of this part of the world. And still to remember that the flag that now flies over our land was preceded by the original flag of the eagle staff, which is still the flag of our land. We remember today our brothers, our dads, our uncles, our grandfathers who served this land, who served this country, who willingly jumped to their feet when they were called. We remember them with kindness, with respect. And I know as they look this way, they are waiting to hear our sacred language. Inasmuch as we can today, to understand that our language is a sacred language. All of the rights and all of the things that we do on behalf of the Creator for our land was given to us by the Spirit. It did not come from somewhere else. It does not belong to somebody else. It is what was given to us. This time then, I ask you to join me in your way. And we must understand today that all prayer arrives at the same place because there is only one Creator. And we've known that for thousands and thousands of years. I'm glad to be here with you, my relatives, today. Agashay Manidudash, Yagojimugu, Wene Maki Abinabia, Wene the Ganawab Madagani Jonathan Shinabe, Wene Gaigi no Aini no Indi Way, Coach Twang, Wene the Quene Mangua, Shimagana Shug, Shimagana Shikwega Ewi, Minaga Ewi no Wichita, Minaga Ewi no Wichidakwe, Wene Nungo Measure, Ejimino in the Mang Queniment, Wene Gai Ubakadegi. You are sin, Gaje Chigade Unjita, Unjida, or Asian equipment. The Ganaga Kina, Joanim on Shinabe, where when a guy Joanim Lini John Siminan, where when a Joanim Eteayag and Shinabe, where when a Kina the Bigo Ayag went on the way Magan and on, the Ganawa went at the Ayawag, the Ganawa went at the Asian equipment, the Minaway Ayawag, you know. When I got Kinner Gujinungo, McQueen, I was in the Shinabe, the Ganaway way, when I got you in the McQueen Mana. Look at the Shna, you got no dog on the Shinabe, she be walking among Asian, we got your dogs here. I shall win him a Shinang Shemanido. 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 Me watch.
I'd like to turn it over to the LCO Badger Singers to honor, Soldier's Drum. to extend a warm welcome to some special guests here. We have Mr. Hal Helwig from the Sawyer County Board of Supervisors. We've also got Glenn Crooks, the tribal chairman of the Shakopee Mdewakanton Sukupi, former vice chair currently. Sorry about that. Also members of the LCO Tribal Governing Board. We've got Sharon Carmen from Johnson Monument, Tim Myers from the Meyer Group, he's our architect. The Waduding Group, the Nate Nez representing the State of Veterans Affairs. Of course, the Badgers. Oh my God, why do I keep saying that? Soldiers Drum, I'm sorry. And also the Tribal Elders Association, the Tribal Youth Council, and the LCO Hayward, or Halfway House. Also WOJB. Also the fellow veterans, family, friends, and visitors, thank you for taking time from your busy schedules today and choosing to join us today. In ceremonies and observances across our great nation, America's citizens pause to honor those, past and present, who have served in uniform to protect our freedom. American Indians have served in all nation wars, despite the fact that they weren't granted citizenship until 1924. 12,000 Native Americans served in our country heroically in World War I. 44,000 served in World War II. And 42,000, that's 90% of those who volunteered, served in Vietnam. Native Americans have the highest record of service per capita of all ethnic groups in America. This morning I was talking to a gentleman, Rick Chambers, and he said he was listening to the news this morning, and he mentioned that this is the first Veterans Day that we have no World War I veterans. I also wanted to take time to acknowledge some of our own elders who are veterans. We've got Mr. Sam Jockey, U.S. Army. He served in World War II. He was a prisoner of war and POW. I didn't see Bertha Christensen, but I wanted to acknowledge her, as well as Dick Smith, also U.S. Army. We are grateful to our veterans, as well as all veterans who have worn the uniform of our nations. It is appropriate that we all reflect on our good fortune to be living in this time and in this great nation. Many of our veterans have witnessed firsthand the struggles that afflict those throughout the world through intolerance, abject poverty, and political violence. In contrast, we should be very proud that we are a nation of opportunity, promise, energy, and the future. LCO shares that optimism for our future. So to those who have taken the sacred oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, we salute you. We salute your families. Your selflessness and sacrifice allow our nation and our way of life to go on. Please join me in personally reaching out to those to thank a veteran, as well as their family members who provide the critical love and support. Let them know that you appreciate their service, their sacrifice and commitment. Doing so means a great deal to those men and women. Thank you for all you do and the difference that you make. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our AMVETS post-1998. They will be doing the honoring for the Veterans Day.
Honor guard and cut. Honor guard. Prepare to raise the color. Left, present, march.
I would like to call the Wadukadade. They're going to come up here and sing a song for us. While they're taking this drum down, I'd like to take the opportunity to turn this mic and introduce you to our tribal chairman, Gordon Thayer. It was through his vision that this monument came to be. The funding for it was included in the Shakopee grant that was awarded earlier this year. So Gordon, welcome.
Miigwech, Suzanne. Thank you. Let's give Suzanne a hand here. You know, she's a Navy veteran. She's the commander of our AMVETs. I'm really proud to stand by her. She was very helpful in organizing the construction and the logistics of getting this monument on the ground and underway. And as I said earlier, we're going to have the grand opening and Memorial Day. So Suzanne and all our members that were on the committee, I want to give you a big applause for that, for the work that we're doing and continue to do. This is phase one of our operation here, and we're looking to raise approximately another $100,000 in honor of all of our veterans that served in every war. I just want to also acknowledge our former tribal chairs that are here today. Margaret Diamond. Margaret is with holding the umbrella over here in the corner, and Rick St. Germain, Dr. Rick St. Germain, who just retired from Professor University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire, and now working in education, working on an education initiative with our tribe, and also he works across the country. He was just awarded the Indian Educator of the Year. So let's give Rick a hand for that fine work he's done and continues to do in education across the country. Also, Gayash Gabash, I've seen Gash here, our former tribal chair, also a veteran. We welcome everybody here today. I want to thank our staff who are putting this together, my assistant Terry Miller and all the others that helped put this up, the ones that were here early, getting wet very early, and let's give them a hand for this too. I also want to mention that again, we have the powwow coming up here this afternoon. Please come on over and join us. Also, our law enforcement that are here today and who help us here in law enforcement, not just our police force, but also the other law enforcement veterans who serve our area and our county. So we're delightful that you're here. I don't want to just mention names because I always forget them. But I also, WOJB, thank you for making this live on the air. We got 30 years on the air with WOJB. It basically extends our spirit of our tribe about 100 miles out. And for you veterans that are listening today out there that can't be with us from other communities, we welcome you here today. I just want to mention that our veterans here, I'm proud of our veterans that served over all the many years that we've had the different wars. One of my colleagues that I serve with now, Rusty Barber, he was on the soldier's drum. Rusty served 20 years in the Army. And we have other veterans that are also Larry Kaigaby, Gary Claus, who's on our tribal council. And as Suzanne said, American Indians across the country have always been first to step forward to fight for our country, even before we were citizens of this land. And we continue to have a high respect for the flag of this country. That's why you'll always see the flag flying in honor of all of our country and of our veterans. So today is a real special day. And before I go further, before I wrap this up here, I want to acknowledge Glenn Crooks. Glenn served, come on up Glenn if you would. Glenn served on the tribal, or the Shakopee Mdewakan Sioux community for many years as their vice chair. And Glenn is also a veteran of the Navy, and he served. And I was inspired when former Chairman Crooks and their staff told me about the memorial you folks have over there. We took our committee over to look at that, Glenn, and it really inspired us to see their compassion for veterans. Not only veterans, but they've helped tribes across the country, as they did with us with our Mission Possible initiative that we have going to strengthen the foundation, the administrative and financial foundation of our tribe, and also provide some key essential services to Lac Courte Oreilles. And of course, we couldn't overlook the veterans. So would you give Glenn a hand, please?
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here. I'm actually retired since last January, and our chairman, Charlie Vig, said, I'd like to ask you if you could go up to LCO and represent our tribe, and I said I'd be very happy to. So that's why I'm up here. But on behalf of my Business Council officers, Chairman Charles Vig, Vice Chairman Keith Anderson, and Secretary Treasurer Lori Watso, they asked me to send their best wishes to all of you here for the Veterans Memorial Monument, and we were very proud and honored to help with that project, and it's a beautiful memorial that represents all veterans. Don't let the weather bother you when you're in the service. Doesn't matter what kind of day you have, you still have to go out and fight that war, rain or shine. So we're used to the rain. And I just want to wish all of the veterans a very happy Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and this day is for us and what we did serving our country. So thanks again, and like I say, I'm very honored to be here, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for inviting me up to speak.
Rich, thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Brother Glenn, for that help here in getting this off the ground and getting this memorial going forward. As he mentioned, reminds me of Vietnam a little bit. With if we had the heat and humidity and sticky fatigues, we would definitely feel like that time. Also, I want to acknowledge, to get this off the ground here and rolling here, it was a lot of logistics had to happen in a short time, and I want to thank the folks that helped get the land. This land at this corner portion here actually was from the county board passed a motion to turn this back to the tribe, turn this over to the tribe, and is Hel Helwig here? Is Hel, come on up if you would please. We just want to, in our tradition of Native tradition, we always like to honor and respect people, and we want to present this plaque to you for your fast job of actually turning this, I should say turning it back to us. Yeah, but looking at this on behalf of the people of Lac Courte Oreilles and on behalf of United States veterans everywhere, we thank the Sawyer County Board of Supervisors for their contributions to Lac Courte Oreilles Veterans Memorial. This contribution strengthens our common bonds and honors the sacrifice of our veterans and reminds us of the greatness of our nation. Presented on the 11th day of November 2012 by the Lac Courte Oreilles Tribal Governing Board. Miigwech. And you are a Korean War veteran. A Korean War veteran here along with another one of our elders, Dick Smith, of Korean War veteran too.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's indeed a pleasure to be here today, even though it is a little damp. On behalf of the county board, I want to extend my appreciation for being invited, and thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be among the first to recognize and thank you for this wonderful, wonderful monument. A great addition to Sawyer County and to the tribe. We thank you very, very much for what you've done, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shel. It's good when we have common bonds. When we talk about veterans, we as Native people, we fought side by side by our African American brothers, our white brothers, and we didn't distinguish colors so much when you're behind enemy lines, and that's how when we acknowledge veterans, we acknowledge all veterans. But I can't. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our veterans that fought hard, not so specifically in the foreign war, but right here in our backyard, right in our land, in our territory, to get our treaty rights, our rights, that inherent rights that we have to that we can practice today. I won't go into all the names, but one of them that stands out is my former colleague Jim Schlender, who was the head of the Great Lakes Fish and Wildlife Commission. Was also a veteran, but also was one of the veterans in our past chiefs that fought hard to keep our stature as the indigenous people and the owners of this land, this great land that we have here, now known as Wisconsin. And we just want to say that we never, and that's why we put it on our plaque here today, that we recommend those that fought and fight for our inherent rights of our people. And I just want to acknowledge my good friend Jim Slender Jr., who's the oldest son of Jim, who was one of our veterans. And as I said, I don't want to miss any names on that, but I just want to keep that in mind, that those continue to be our veterans. And this evening at 5 o'clock, is Paul Demain here? Or is Paul here? This is going to be streamed live on is that in Indian Country Television?
TV.
Indian Country TV. So you want to look at that live. This is going out throughout the country. So thank you very much for that fine work that we're doing here. And so looking forward here, I'm really see the sacrifices that our veterans have made and continue to make and continue to serve. Our AMVETS post here has been very essential in pulling together the different veterans from different communities to come together and work together and continue to serve our country in a very good heartfelt way. I thank them for their hard work that they do here, and our honor guards, when we have funerals, they're the first ones there to help bury our loved ones. In December 6th, I'm going to Albuquerque, to Kirkland Air Force Base, in honor of a good friend and former teammate of mine in Vietnam who was on a very dangerous rescue mission and lost his life there, and he was given the Medal of Honor, and they're doing a dedication there for him in honor of him. It's a statue and a memorial at the Pararescue School in Kirkland Air Force Base, and I'm proud to go as a member of our tribe and as a representative of our tribe. And we've had so many of our men and women at Lac Courte Oreilles have fought bravely in our wars, and I think of many that who are not here today in the various wars. My cousin Shrig Quarter, who was a prisoner of war also, and I know Sam Jockey remembers Shrig. He was also a prisoner of war in World War II, and we've had a lot of our men serve in the Korean War. Dick Smith and others and other Korean veterans that are here today. And of course the Vietnam War, we've had numerous of our members, and one of the first ones that were killed in 1966 was a brother from Signer, Butler, and he's buried over at the traditional cemetery in Hayward. And we've had others that were killed in that war, and many have served in Afghanistan. Jim Schlender Jr. served in the first Iraq War, and others that serve there are with us today. We have those that are continuing to serve in Afghanistan. So, in closing, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today in this weather and being here. And I want to thank our Waduka Dotting singers, our Soldiers Drum, everyone that's here today that's made this possible. You're being here today just lifted the spirits, of us who have served, and we thank you very much. And with that, I hope I have not missed anybody. I just want to mention Sarah Baldwin, who's doing a sculpture that will be done tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be done. I hopefully by Memorial Day, and she's a fantastic artist. She's done a book of our elders that you can see, and we thank Sarah for that fine work. She's always been a friend of Lac Courte Oreilles. So on behalf of our tribe, our tribal governing board, we thank you for coming out. American Indians across the country have always been first to step forward to fight for our country, even before we were citizens of this land. And we continue to have a high respect for the flag of this country. That's why you'll always see the flag flying in honor of all of our country and of our veterans. So